In this video, I am going to explain how to send your leads from your website into an email marketing software. Now, what I mean is, after somebody fills out the form on your website, you want to send them to an email marketing software so you can automatically email them or set up campaigns in the email marketing software so you can consistently email. If you've ever been on one of my lists, which I'm sure you have if you're at this point, then you probably were receiving emails from me almost every day. And that is the power of email. It works. It still works to this day. And you want to, be aggressive in your email marketing when you're trying to sell something. If you already sold somebody something, maybe you don't want to be as aggressive, but you definitely want to be aggressive when you first want to start selling people whatever it is, because after a few days, usually, and once you get to that age lead and they're 3 days old, 30 days old, it's not as great as a lead anymore. It's a little bit harder to get them back into whatever they were doing or whatever they were interested in. So you're in WordPress, you're logged in. What you're going to do is now you're going to left side, you're going to click on forms. Now, I use Gravity Forms. So if you don't use Gravity Forms, this isn't going to work for you. You got to figure out how to do it with whatever form software you're using. But Gravity Forms is amazing. It's worth it if you're looking to do automation like this. So you click on forms like I just did. You probably should only see one form on your website. I have a bunch of them because I do a lot of testing. But on the left side here, you're going to see add-ons. Click on add-ons. Now these are all the add-ons that you can put inside the Gravity Forms plugin. So if I scroll down to Aweber, as you can see, it's already active because I'm already running it. But they have other software you can do, like let's see what they have here. Anything with the email marketing world. But you got Get Response, you have iContact, you have MailChimp. Obviously, you see a lot more stuff here that you can check out. There's a signature add-on if you want to do e-sign. Actually, never noticed that. You have a Stripe add-on for if you want to do payments. You have Zapier, which is a huge network to be able to do automation. Oh, you even have Zoho. Look at that. I've never seen this before. So Zoho is a CRM. So maybe I'll look into that and see if I can show people how to set up their API a little easier. APIs are a little bit of a pain, but it's all right. We all need to learn new stuff. It's fun. So I switched to a different website just to go through this setup process with you. So the only thing you needed to do was install Aweber. So hit the install button and that'll install it. Then what you're going to do, you're going to go to forms. You're going to go to your form that you're choosing. You're going to go to settings. You're going to go to Aweber. And then what you need to do is you need to get started, please configure Aweber settings. You're going to click on Aweber settings. Page is going to pop up and it's going to ask you for your authorization code. So you're going to click here to retrieve your authorization code. Click that. Page is going to come. It's going to ask you to log in. You log in. You click Allow Access. You take this code. You copy it. You go back to this page. You paste it. You hit Update Settings. Settings updated. You're done. That's all you needed to do. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go back to Forms, go back to your form, go back to Settings, go back to Aweber, and now it says you don't have any feeds configured. Let's go create one. Now you're good. Now you hit Create One. Now I'm going to go through just one with you, and then you can create as many as you want. So what I do is I have a bunch of email lists in Aweber. So I'm going to name it. So let's just say, for example, there's a couple different ways to do this. When you have a form on your site, so let me just pull up a site real quick. So on this site right here, you see my form here? So you see I have a startup, less than 35, 35, 5, 10, right? You have all these different options for revenue. The way that I do it is anything above 10, so 10, 20, 50, and 100, I group these into one email campaign inside Aweber. Anything below 10,000, I kind of split them up. So maybe I just do startup. And so I just have a startup campaign. Then I do maybe I take these three and I combine them together, right, into one. You kind of want to group them together based on monthly sales. That's for me. That's what I like to do because then I know if someone's over $10,000 a month of revenue, it's probably a legitimate business. I can sell them different things. If someone's a startup, I probably want to push like personal loans, credit repair, credit monitoring to those guys. So you can just pick and choose what you want to do and how you want to do it. You can split it up, with credit score or anything that you want to do, but this is the way I do it. So if I go back here and I say, all right, I want to create, I want to take certain leads that fill out this form. So let's just do startups. I'm going to say if anybody chooses startup, I want to take them and send them to the startup campaign inside Aweber. So I'll just call startup, right? So startup, and then I'm going to select my list. Now, these are my lists inside my campaign, okay? I have a lot of them. You're probably only have a couple. So I'm just going to choose my startup campaign, which is this one. So this is the one that I call startup. So I have the name startup. This is my contact list inside Aweber. Okay, this is already created inside Aweber. So you have to go to Aweber or your marketing software, whoever you're going to use for email marketing, and create this list first. Okay, you got to do that first. And then you're going to choose your fields. Now, um, this isn't really configured right because this website's not really doesn't we don't actually use this website. So right here where it says email address, you should have an email field. Okay, you should have an email field here. I don't for a specific reason, which I'll actually go over in a second, just in case you have that problem. But you should say email. Under full name, you can do first name. That's fine. I like to do first name. I don't need to have the whole name. The company, I just choose company, and phone is phone. So what's going to happen is when someone fills out the form, it's going to take their email address, send it over. Their full name, I'm going to send over their first name. The company, I'm going to send over company. Phone, I'm going to send over phone. And then what's going to happen is I'm hit enable condition. And I'm going to say, I like always to choose any instead of all for this. But for this, I'm just going to do gross monthly sales is startup, right? So what are the options? Startup, here's my options. So gross monthly sales is startup. If they choose that, it's going to send them to Aweber and put them in my startup email campaign. That's it. You're done. Now you can go back and create a bunch of these. You can do one for everyone over 10K. So let's just say I wanted to do 4 of these. You hit the plus sign. And I said, I just want the 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and 100,000. So that's the people that chose either 10,000, 20, 50, or 100,000 plus. These are my best leads, my premium leads. I'm going to put them in their own campaign, and you choose a different campaign here, right? So maybe I say I want 10K. I'm going to call this list 10K because these are 10K plus leads, and I'm going to go to my MCA 10K campaign in Aweber, and then everything else pretty much stays the same here. Okay, so that's how you do it. Install the software you want to install, go set it all up, you're good to go. Now, let me just touch on one thing real quick. Because just before when I said that the reason why an email field might not show, so this is what happens. This is my form, right? I clicked on forms, I went to my form that you're using, and I'm scroll down to the email field. See the email field right here? See how it says single line text right here? That means that when you use that Aweber software that I was just doing, it won't show up as an email field. So when I first set this up, I wasn't using Aweber. Like I said, I'm learning myself, right? When I first set this stuff up, I didn't do everything correctly. So when I first set up this site, which I don't use anymore, I haven't used this site in years, but when I first set up this website, what happened was I didn't set the email field correctly for that software. So I had to go back and redo everything. So let me show you on the side here. Let me pull this in. Uh, so on the side here, you have advanced fields. All right, so this is on the side. On the side here, you have advanced fields, and you have email. What you want to do is you want to click the email field. So you got to, in order to use the Aweber thing or really any of this stuff in here, you have to choose the email field. So you click that, and it's going to go all the way to the bottom. See, it says all the way to the bottom. I scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and you can click on this right here in the blue part and scroll it up to email. So you see, I have 2 emails now: single line text and email. So really what you want to do is you want to delete this one. Hit the X, delete it, it's gone. Now you only have the email field. This is the one you want. And if you click the little down arrow, it gives you all the stuff you could do here. I always make these required. If you're going to put a new field in, make sure it's required. And just go through here to see if you want to change anything. In here under advanced, you have visible, hidden, administrative. So if you want it visible, hit that. If you want to hide it, you can do that. You can also do, enable conditional logic and learn about this stuff, but you don't need that for this. So now you have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, okay? I'm going to update the form, and I'm going to go back. Oh, I'm going to go back to the form for Aweber. And now what's going to happen is I'm going to create one. Now watch what happens. So we'll do the 10K again. Choose 10K, go down, and you are going to see everything pop up in a second. And now the email field appears. See that? Now it says email. And I can do first name, I can do company, and phone. So now email appears. So that's why you need email for this. So when you set up your form, you have to make that change to use this part. Not a big deal. You just do exactly what I just showed you, and you're good to go. So that's how you connect Gravity Forms to Aweber. Again, you can use it for any plugin you want, iContact, MailChimp, whatever they have in there, that's who you can use. I only use Aweber, so that's all I know how to use. If you want to use something else, again, going to have to figure that out. All this stuff is pretty easy, so I don't think you're going to have a problem.